plays Coriolis. This is episode 3 of our ongoing campaign, Fear and Loathing in the Third Horizon. I'm Matt, your GM.
I'm Adam. I'll be Kalia Al-Rufai, disgraced journalist and slightly unsuitable captain of the One for Sorrow.
I am Charlotte. I play Luna, the gunner of the ship and the relic hunter of sorts.
And I am Nathan, and I am playing Zanafar Il-Kadif. He's the engineer and technical specialist on board.
Okay, so we are engaged with another ship who has told you in no uncertain terms over comms in the first round of combat, of ship combat, to not do anything, do not attack them, do not try and move away from them, that you're basically going to be boarded. Which was then followed shortly after by a torpedo shot from your own ship hitting them. So we're now in turn 2 of this combat, and we're going to start again with issuing orders. So once again, we go to Kalia, who's the captain of the ship. And Kalia, your options are to evade, if you would like to try and evade this incoming attack.
Mm-hmm.
You can try and repair any damage, which you haven't suffered any damage yet. You can try and retreat, which is to move away from the enemy ship, or you can attack.
I think the kid gloves are off. I think we should try and attack.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I got no successes. So give me a command roll.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
I rolled a beauty of a free success.
That's good. So there's a +3 modifier to any kind of attacking you want to do this round. So that's a bonus to the pilot to move towards an enemy ship, which isn't really going to apply because you're in the same range band, or any attacks that round. So we jump to the engineering phase. They get to go first to distribute their energy points. I'm just doing that very quickly. Zanafar, how many of your ship's 6 energy points do you want to distribute?
He's given the command to attack, and we've got bonuses there. So we're going to give... we have a total of 6 energy points, correct?
Correct, yep.
All right, we're going to give 2 of those to the sensor operator and 4 of them to the gunner.
Okay. That means you're not leaving any actions for yourself as the engineer in this phase. So the actions that you could do are things like you can do one thing, which is you can try and overload the reactor with a tech roll. Do you want to overload the reactor?
No, we've not taken any damage or anything yet, so I don't feel like it's a crisis where we want to risk the reactor or damage ourselves.
Okay, for extra EP. No.
Yeah, but we've got 6. That seems to be. 4 attacks seems like a lot, so I think we're good.
Okay.
And play it safe with the reactor.
Right. We then jump to the pilot phase. And in this pilot phase, they are attempting to board their ship with your ship. So it's going to be an opposed piloting roll to dock the connected ships together. And the attacking pilot suffers a -2. So they would normally be rolling a total of 6 dice, modified by 2. That means they're getting 4.
And that gets modified by the maneuverability they shipped.
Yeah, right, +1. So that's a 5. Again, so I'm going to roll their attempt first. They roll nothing, 0 successes. And now I get to roll the ship, although I don't really need to roll it because they didn't get any successes. But we'll just roll it anyway. So our ship, your ship would roll 4 for the piloting roll, -1 for your maneuverability. So that's a total of 3 dice. And you got 1 success.
Yes, Jill.
So they attempt to board, but Jill is able to fire up some thrusters at the last minute, and they don't manage to do it. And they used up 3 of their EPs to attempt that. Okay, we then move on to the sensor phase. You guys did not manage to break target lock, correct?
We did not.
You did not. So they still have target lock on you. They're not attempting to do anything else themselves, so you've got 2 EP for you guys to spend.
Okay, what are our options, please?
You can try and get a target lock. You've already got a target lock on them.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I've messed that up slightly. They wanted to try and break the lock, so let me do that first.
Okay.
They're going to try make 2 attempts to break the lock. So I roll no successes, but they're trying twice. Okay, they don't manage to break your target lock.
Oh, yes, mate.
Excellent.
So you've got 2 EP. The things you can spend on this is you can
Put the deluxe target lock on them.
you can do a meme attack, which is launching a data meme at them.
Okay.
This will deal energy point damage, which will limit the amount of stuff that they can do to you.
Okay.
Until they attempt to repair it.
Am I sending very crudely drawn frog pictures across?
Bongo cat.
It's basically like you're trying to send a virus over.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll go for that.
It's a self-learning program that you broadcast into their systems. Okay, so the first thing you do is you analyze their ship. It counts as an action and costs 1 EP to perform and requires you to make a datagen roll modified by the signature of the enemy ship. Their signature is 0, so there's no just roll a datagen attack for that.
So that's 4 plus 1. No successes, unfortunately.
Sorry, just stop, Adam, for a second.
Yeah.
We're gonna have you re-roll. This technically is an attack, which is the order that you gave.
Okay.
So you should be getting a +3 to this.
Okay.
So re-roll with. In fact, don't re-roll it. Just roll 3 dice, please. So we'll add the 3 dice to the 5 you've already rolled.
Okay, that adds 1 success to that roll.
That's fine, and that's enough. The roll is successful. So you now learn which modules are present on the enemy ship. Okay. The modules are, in addition to the 3 standard, which is a bridge, a reactor, and graviton projectors, they have a docking station, they have a hangar, cabins, a med lab, stasis hold, and then countermeasure dispensers, accelerator cannon, autocannon, and a torpedo room. Now the second stage is launching the meme itself. So you've analyzed it, and now you can spend your second EP to basically make another datagen roll, which will also be 8 dice to make an attack. You choose which of those modules you want to target, and if it's successful, that targeted module will be disabled as if it's been critically hit.
Okay. What's the I'm thinking immediately of the cannon.
I would suggest the docking station.
Okay.
They can't board your vessel if their docking station is shut down, right?
Sound. Okay. I'll roll 8 dice then. 1 success.
Okay, and that's enough. That's enough. So you managed to hack into their system, and you managed to shut down their docking station. So they're going to have to basically bring that back online before they can actually board your ship.
Dock off.
We then jump to the attack phase, and the attack phase is effectively moving over to Luna.
Okay, so now
You've got 4 EP to spend, and each of these get a +3 mod to them.
excellent. Does the autocannon cost an EP?
It will, but you can't use it.
They tried to dock us, so that could be used as defensive, correct?
It would, yeah. I'll have to look into that, how that's actually technically
Okay, we'll
used.
bypass that for now. Obviously, I'll fire the torpedo first because that's a free action.
We only have 1 left. I think Xanathar would suggest using the accelerator cannon and save the torpedo.
Sure, yeah. So then that'll be 4 attacks with the accelerated cannon. So then my agility 4, my range 2, and then I add 3 onto that.
Correct, yeah.
Was there any bonuses for the accelerated cannon itself, like
Yep.
+1? Okay,
+1.
so that is 10 dice.
Yeah.
They are going to float. Okay, first roll, we got 2 successes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me roll their armor. Okay, they cancel one of them off, but it still manages to do one hull damage to their ship.
Cool, so now rolling for the second attack. Got another 2 successes.
Another 2 successes, so I'll roll for armor again.
Damn it.
Okay, and that's canceled both of them out. And then roll your third attack. Oh!
Third attack, I've got 5 successes.
Whoa! I think the bot takes a little while to warm up, but it's very worthwhile when it does.
Wow.
Let's roll the 6 dice of their armor and see how many we can cancel out there. Cancels 1 out, so you do 4 successes, which is going to take out their hull completely.
We can hear AC/DC distantly playing.
Thunder! Right.
We were thinking of the same track. That's quite uncanny.
Interesting. So their ship drops to 0 hull points, and it is effectively disabled. Their hull collapses. That means that their reactor, all their weapon systems, they stop working, and the ship suffers decompression. So
here in England, we say "chat shit, get hit."
As Kalia will be aware, having done a full scan of their modules when she was launching the data meme, they didn't have any escape pods, which means as their ship is going to be going through decompression, they're going to be, if they're not in exosuits already, they're going to need to get into some exosuits pronto. Okay. Their ship isn't blown to bits or anything like that. You can still repair it, but there will obviously potentially be some people on board. So,
are we any the wiser who the fuck they are?
Nope.
Okay. I think we should just move on.
Oh, hell no, there is shit to loot in there.
So, you'll all be aware that there'll be rewards for bringing in pirates.
Hmm. What's that going to take logistically? I mean, all our stasis beds are full up.
I mean, you wouldn't turn them in necessarily in a different system. You would turn in a bounty in the system that the people were active pirates in.
Hmm.
And you're kind of on your way to the most populated planet in the system, which is Jana.
Okay.
And effectively, what they've done is piracy. They've attacked your ship with no
they are pirates. Whatever they say they are.
Yeah. So that's an option to you, but you'd have to take control of the ship. You'd either have to hook it up to your own, or repair it and fly it yourselves.
And that ship is a class 3, correct?
It's a class 3 ship. Yep.
Can it fit in our hangar?
Nope, you can only fit class 2, unfortunately.
Bugger.
I would allow you to attach the 2 ships together, but that would take a number of hours to actually manage that. And if any of them are alive on the ship, they might try and stop you from doing that. In fact,
I don't see how we're going to physically wrangle a load of live prisoners to Jana, the 3 of us.
Xanathar, any suggestions?
Put her around through the reactor and end them.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, we would lose any kind of salvage from it, but
Think of the children.
you'd have to board the vessel to loot it. But yeah.
Well, we could give up on the loot. I mean, we're not mercenaries, so we don't necessarily need that. I guess they did have the torpedo room. We could maybe try and salvage some torpedoes, but I'm not sure if it's worth risking all of our lives to go after those.
Probably not. Let's just put one more round into him and see what happens.
And also, with all of her 4 successes, she probably could have had 2 of those as like a critical. I guess we used them all to defeat their hull. So.
Well, wait. Let's actually do a ship critical, because you definitely had enough. You only needed 2 successes to wipe out their hull, and you would have had an extra 2 on top of that after their 5th one. So give me a ship critical roll.
Destroyed bridge.
Oh God. Okay, so
bye, boys.
It says the engineer and gunner stations are not normally on the bridge, so they can act normally, but everyone on the bridge risks damage and the module suffers explosive decompression.
So we destroyed their bridge and everyone on there died, pretty much?
Risks damage.
Possibly, unless any of them were actually in exosuits, but it's suffered explosive decompression.
Alright, I think Xanathar is going to say that he'll suit up and fly that shuttle over, and he wants to go get a torpedo replacement before we detonate their vessel, or tow it, or whatever they want to do.
Well, we'll have to secure the ship first, so I'm going to. Fully armed.
Okay, are you going to join him, Kalia?
Yep.
You have I think you have a some sort of suit, do you not, Kalia? In fact, there is a spare exosuit that's come with the ship. So all 3 of you can equip an exosuit.
Nice.
Exoshell, I should say.
Yeah. And Xanathar shows up in the shuttle in an exoshell and with his sawn-off grape shot rifle.
Luna's got her accelerator rifle, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And Kalia has her Vulcan Cricket, her little mini pistol.
Yeah.
Okay, you get on the shuttle, you shuttle across to the hangar of the other ship. The thing that you notice as the lights kind of your shuttle sweep across it is that the entire ship has been painted completely black. There's no writing, there's nothing on it at all. So it's definitely made to like in every way not be seen in the depths of space. You fly towards the hangar. In fact, sorry, you can't land in the hangar.
Yeah, I think we're too big.
You're too big. Yeah, apologies. So you'd have to link up with their docking station, or you'd have to do a spacewalk over to their hangar from your shuttle.
I think their whole ship is powered down, so we're gonna have to like cut our way in, or we could just dock to their docking station and maybe try and like repair it and then go in that way.
Yeah, you can do that.
Can we go through the bridge?
You could do a spacewalk through the bridge, yeah, but you still have to open the door from the bridge to the whatever's behind it because everything's powered down.
True, and if we do that, then we'd be able to see whether there's atmosphere in the rest of the ship or not.
Xanathar thinks he can restore power to their ship once he can get on board, so he's looking to Kalia to see what she wants them to do.
We just turned the bridge into a smoking crater, didn't we?
Well, you've managed a critical hit on it, so it's basically you've opened it up.
It's still viable to get in, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Should we pop in through the bridge?
I think it might be our easiest method.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you pilot the shuttle over and position the airlock of the shuttle to be facing the bridge of the other ship. And you can see as you kind of sweep it with your lights first that as you strafed the front of the ship with that last attack, that it popped open. And there's a nice big hole where you can fit through fairly easily without risking tearing your exoshells. Okay?
Sounds good.
Who's going in?
I'll go first.
Luna, as you push yourself away from the shuttle and float towards the ship, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary, like around the front. You don't see any bodies sucked out into space or anything like that.
Not a good sign.
Do you want to switch the lights on your exoshell?
Yeah.
Okay. You make it over to the cockpit. As you climb inside, you notice that everything is kind of floating. Obviously no gravity, no artificial gravity on board the ship. And as you kind of sweep around, you can see that there are two bodies at two of the consoles. One of them is covered in blood, probably from the explosion which took out the ship. And the second one is floating next to the station, not sat at the station, and has clearly suffered from exposure to the vacuums of space without a suit on.
No, you shouldn't do that.
Okay. Are they armed in any way?
You don't see any weapons on there, like big weapons.
Sidearms.
The one who's floating doesn't have any sidearms. You can't really see from where you are. The one that's sat behind the desk.
Okay, I want to go quickly check them out, just to make sure.
Yeah. Okay. That one does have a sidearm. It's a Vulcan pistol.
I takes it.
Okay. By that stage, who's coming in second?
I'll come in second.
Okay, Kalia, you float in behind Luna, and you see this what I've just described. What do you want to do?
Look for some swag, basically.
Okay, you're on the bridge of the ship. There's not really anything worth stealing.
Okay.
I mean, you can kind of try and rifle through the pockets of the other corpse that Luna's not by.
Yeah, I'll do that.
What about seeing if there's any ID that could pinpoint who they are or what they want before we really get going?
Oh yeah, you know what? That will be the priority if I can find any. I mean, these might not be. They might not have lanyards or anything.
No, I mean, you don't find any IDs on them or anything like that. Their clothes are kind of, they're not particularly clean necessarily.
Are there any tags on the walls that might indicate the origin of this ship?
Any kind of iconography?
Or, anything from maybe before it fell into the hands of these ne'er-do-wells?
Not on the bridge. It's just a kind of slightly decrepit looking standard bridge with kind of all the regular consoles that you would expect to find, and not a lot else. So it's not been maintained, it hasn't been cleaned or anything very well, so you can see that the walls are slightly grimy. Nobody's been cleaning in here.
Would Kalia have had us bring the hollow camera with us to record?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I think before he exits the shuttle, he's going to maneuver
Or Xanathar, you mean?
Xanathar is going to maneuver the hollow camera after her, so as Kalia's going through, she can be narrating the ills of piracy in the system and so on, and then he'll kind of follow along after it.
Okay.
I'm going to emphasize, though, the desperate situation some of these people find themselves in because of misrule back at home. They're forced to take to the spaceways with violence in their hearts.
Okay, when Xanathar gets through, I turn to him and ask him to get these doors open.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll try and find a console and open. So the doors to the bridge are closed then?
The doors to the bridge are closed, yeah.
All right.
You find the sensor operator's console. It's the one that the body is floating next to.
He's going to tell Luna that in order to activate the doors, he'll have to restore power to the reactor, which may power up other systems. And if there's anyone left alive, they may have access to like an armory or whatever. So he's ready. He's ready to attempt it if everybody's ready.
We need explosives. We'll have to keep that in mind.
All right. He sets the camera to follow around Kalia so he can concentrate.
Yeah, while he starts doing that, I take a position right beside the door to the cabin. Just out of the way, so that way when it opens up, nothing can hit me if people start shooting.
So I'm gonna attempt to jury rig and get everything back up and running on this busted console.
Yeah, sure. So that'll be a technology roll.
So technology is 2, wits is 5, is 7. And then I can't remember on Gearhead if there's any bonus or anything, or is it just I have advanced tools, so I don't know.
Advanced tools gives a +1 to technology.
Okay, so 8.
Yep.
I got 1 success.
That's fine. You managed to patch into a kind of emergency system that's somehow got a little bit of power to it, or you're providing a little bit of power from your tools. And you're able to do some very basic stuff with the ship. So we'll say you're able to open some doors.
Okay. And I'm going to open the doors to the torpedo room and also open the hangar. That way we can offload the torpedoes to our vessel.
Okay.
So any doors in between the bridge and those locations.
So you've boarded the top level of the ship. There are 4 levels, so you're on level 4. The torpedo compartment, the hangar is on the top, is on the same level as you. In fact, it's just behind the bridge here. And the torpedo compartment is directly below the bridge on level 3. So there's a lift, there's an elevator between the bridge and the hangar that you can take down to level 3, but the elevator isn't working, it doesn't have power. So the other thing you could do is you could go down to the cargo hold, which is behind the hangar on the top level, and that covers both level 4 and level 3. So you could kind of through the cargo hold drop down to level 3. It's next to the reactor, so you can make your way past the reactor and then make your way to the front of the ship.
That sounds like a good idea. Go to the cargo hold to get to the torpedo room, and then move the torpedoes through the cargo hold to the hangar and get it out.
Okay.
And then kill anyone we find, or arrest them, or whatever.
We should clear the ship as we move down.
So what you're doing is you're at the front of the top level of the ship. You're going to be moving all the way to the back of the ship on the top level, dropping down 1 level, and then moving all the way to the front of the ship to get to the torpedo compartment. Yeah?
Dun, dun,
So you're opening all the doors between those 2.
Yep, I've already executed the command, so...
Yep. Okay. So, Luna, you're stepping through first?
Yeah, when those doors open, does anything happen?
Nothing. It's dark. There's no lights on. There's no power in the ship.
Was there any decompression?
Not in the hangar itself. So you kind of step into the hangar. It's empty. There's no ship in there. And it's a big empty room. There's no crates or anything like that. So you make your way, I guess, a bit further back.
Okay, yeah, we make our way down. Do we hear or see any signs of anyone surviving?
You see no signs of anyone else other than the 2 bodies in the front. As you pass the hangar, you notice that there's a ladder to your left.
Are the other 2 with me?
I guess they're just behind you. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm observing Luna's progress and feeling quite intimidated.
I want to point out to them that if there was only 2 bodies that we found so far, where's everybody else? Because they wouldn't try and board us if it was just 2 of them.
Yeah. So the holo camera has its light on and is following around Kalia, and then Xanathar's bringing up the rear with his grape shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also got the light on his exoshell, kind of like illuminating. It's kind of scanning around frantically because he's a little nervous about being in the back.
Okay. So as I said, there's a ladder to your left. Ahead of you can see cavernous space opening up, which is the cargo hold. And in the left part of the corridor, there's like an alcove, and you can see a ladder going up to the top of the ship. And none of you need to roll for this. Generally, that's a ladder into a gun well.
Xanathar can just wave everyone to keep going, and he's just gonna poke his shotgun up the ladder and just kind of peek and see if there's anyone hiding up there.
You stick your shotgun in, stick your head in, and your lights illuminate at the top a pair of boots in the gun compartment.
Are they moving?
Nope.
He's gonna poke one of the left boot with the tip of his shotgun, and if it moves, he's gonna pull the trigger.
It moves, but only with the force that you're pushing it.
Oh, okay. So then he's gonna kind of hold his shotgun with one hand. With his free hand, he's gonna grab onto it and try and like pull it down or pull it to the side where he can see if the attached body is still alive or visibly dead.
You kind of pull on the boot, it comes down, it slides down maybe 10, 15 centimeters, but no more. And you can't really see beyond it. It might be strapped into something up there, the body, or you're not really sure. It's not really moving very much though.
Is the boot attached to a body?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to actually get in there, climb up the ladder, and see what's what. Like get really close to the body.
He looks forward and makes eye contact with Luna.
What could go wrong?
And he shakes his head like no, like they're not alive, and then he just rejoins them.
Okay. I'm happy for you guys to have comms between you, like local comms.
Okay, with that, once he gets down onto the floor, I start moving forward again and sweeping the area as I'm going, making sure that nothing's going to jump out at us.
Okay. You get to the top, you get into the cargo bay, and because it's covering 2 levels of the ship, the top level where you are, there's a balcony that goes the width of the cargo bay, and there's a ladder on either side going down to the main bit of the cargo hold itself. There's an access hatch at the back, which is closed, so there's doors that could open in the cargo bay to allow cargo to be loaded from the rear of the ship. And you see some crates down below as you're shining your lights down.
So Xanathar will mention that there's no need to take things all the way through the hangar if we can just take things out the cargo hold. And we can check the crates for anything valuable and then make our way to the torpedo room.
Do we see anything moving, any kind of shadows or anything flickering that might give us pause for something that's hiding behind any of the crates?
Why don't each of you give me an observation roll? And I'm going to say it's modified by a -1 for the darkness and your crappy lights on your suits. They don't go very far.
And Xanathar has 1 success.
1 success.
I got 3 successes.
Oh, shit. Okay. So both Xanathar and Kalia think that they can see something moving behind one of the crates to the left of the cargo hold. And Luna, you're certain that you saw somebody ducking behind the crate.
Okay. Is there anywhere I can move that would give me a better vantage point to see what's going on? To see if I could see the person?
Directly above them, there's no gravity.
Yes, that is true. How big is this crate?
3 meters to each side.
Okay.
And it's strapped to the side of the cargo bay. So the person is hiding on the other side from where you are right now, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I've only got access from 2 sides of it.
Or from behind it, or from the side, or from above. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
We're just going to go straight into combat.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're not being particularly sneaky, you've got your lights on. Yeah, so I think we're just going to jump straight in. So why don't each of you give me a d6 roll and add your agility score to it. So Nathan rolled a 5.
So I've got a 7.
I rolled a 5 and got an 8.
And let me roll the other person's. Okay, so I got a 10, so that means my NPC gets to go first. The person who is behind the crates pokes around the side and takes a shot at, I guess you're in the lead, Luna, so he's going to be taking a shot at you.
Okay.
Okay, so he's going to roll his attack roll, which he's firing with some sort of assault rifle. With 1 success, so that's going to do 3 damage, so you get to roll your armor, which I believe is 2 on an exoshell.
So just 2d6?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so with no successes, that means you've taken 3 damage.
Oh, that's not good.
So basically the way this works in Coriolis is you get 3 action points, and with those action points you can do any number of things in combat. This person basically is taking a full 2 actions, which is a normal type of action, They have 1 left. That means they can take a fast action. And I'm just going to roll that this person is getting back behind cover. So ducking back behind the crate. Okay, so Kalia's up next.
Mm-hmm. Can I load up a shot?
They're behind cover, so you'd be shooting into the crate, which would take a while to destroy, especially with your little cricket.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can choose to go later in the turn order if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Okay, so you basically just choose any number that you want for initiative.
I'll go after Xanathar.
Okay, so you drop you down to 4 then. Okay.
Yeah.
Luna's next.
Okay. What about using my M doses? Will that heal me immediately, or is that something that I'll have to use outside of combat?
It takes all 3.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a slow action, and I'm not sure how how you're going to be able to do that inside an exoshell.
Well, there's a hole in it now.
That's true. I didn't think about this. Yeah, you're in the kind of vacuum of space. I'm gonna say the exoshells can manage to like self-patch the holes.
Okay.
So that manages to seal itself as you're kind of getting shot. You're not gonna be able to administer an M dose without getting out of your exoshell.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You've got 3 action points.
I am just quickly looking to see exactly how a recon probe works, if I can use that to determine exactly where that person is. Because my rifle has armor piercing, which should do a pretty decent job of going through whatever it hits.
It ignores a certain number of armor points is how that works. So it wouldn't allow you to just like shoot through the crate necessarily. It would just manage to reduce the armor rating.
Right. Okay. How would I go about quickly swapping weapons with Xanathar, because the shotgun might be a little bit better suited in this situation, and trying to float right over the box and take out Buddy from above?
I think Xanathar is already preparing to do that.
It'd be a fast action from both of you, so just take 1 of your 3 action points.
I mean, can we just both just launch ourselves in 0G and then just fire at him from above?
You could do, yeah. I mean, it's a fast action to do that.
Yeah, I'll go from the side.
Okay, so after she launches from the side, then he'll go like right after her, follow up whatever she's doing.
Fine, yeah, no problem.
That works. Wonder if I should use that pistol I just acquired versus an extreme range rifle.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. You've got armor piercing on the accelerator rifle, which will help if this guy's armored.
True, yep.
Which he's in an exoshell, so he is armored.
This is your chance for that 0G no scope.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so you launch yourself. You spend 1 of your action points as a fast action to launch yourself. You are floating towards him above his head. He comes into view, and you take your shot. So give me your roll. You get a +1 bonus for your accelerator rifle.
And then my 4 for agility and 2 for range, so that gives me 7. Of which I get 2 successes.
Your crit on the accelerator rifle is 1, so you can do a straight up. You can do 3 damage and then a 1 crit on him too if you want.
Broken toes.
You shoot him in the foot.
But he is stunned for 1 turn.
He's stunned for 1 turn, so it means he can't take any actions next round. And then that's followed up by Xanathar coming floating in, and he takes a shot. 0 successes, misses. Are you pushing? You push the roll, and you still don't succeed. So you take your shot with your grape rifle, and somehow this guy's just been shot in the foot just moments before. And where you were aiming, he's moved his position, and you shoot to the spot he was in. But
I think it's because I was floating in 0G, and when it fired, it pushed me back, and I like careened off the ceiling of the cargo.
Fine, yep. I now have 4 darkness points as well, just so you're all aware. Okay, Kalia's up next.
Right, yeah. He's still behind cover, isn't he?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so weak, though.
And he is stunned right now.
Yeah. So which means he won't be able to go at all next round. So you'd all have 3 shots at him next round as well.
Okay. All right, under those circumstances, I will do that then.
Okay. So you float down. The hollow drone is following you, recording this.
Very much gonzo news.
Are you floating down to the ground, or are you floating above him?
Above, please.
Okay. So all 3 of you are floating above him. Or you follow after the other 2.
It's like that painting, The Wave.
Okay, give me your best shot. You get 4 dice for your agility plus range. Your Vulcan cricket gives you a +1, so that makes 5 dice that you're rolling.
Roll for no successes. Sensational.
You miss him. Do you want to push the roll, or are you just going to leave it?
I better leave it.
Okay.
What kind of journalist are you, anyways?
I guess not the murdering kind.
I mean, when I shoot, I usually shoot documentaries.
Oh, right. Let's go to the top of the next round. The person you've been firing at is not going. He's stunned. So it goes to Luna again. So Luna, what do you want to do?
I'm going to take another shot.
I'm just going to say you're going to take the shot, and then you're going to careen into the back wall of the cargo bay because you can't stop yourself in 0G.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, I'm probably going to say you're going to have to do something with that first before you can fire again.
Yeah, can I get positioned to brace?
Yeah, so you can just use a fast action to kind of position. So you use one of your action points to kind of stop yourself.
Okay.
And then you'll basically be hanging above him, and then you can take your second shot.
Okay. Of which I have no successes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. So maybe you're slightly disoriented from almost smashing your head into the back of the cargo bay wall.
Yeah, having to reorient myself with a longer rifle.
You haven't done much 0G kind of combat before. In fact, probably never.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is all a little bit new to you. Okay, then we come to Xanathar, who's exactly in the same position. You come hurtling towards the back wall. Or you've kind of already got tangled up, you said, first.
Yeah, so I'm just he's gonna kind of get his bearings and spend a fast action to brace himself again. And
Okay.
instead of firing his shotgun or grape rifle, he's going to actually kind of do like a double tap and do 2 quick shots, which I think is a -2 penalty.
I believe that's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Each shot.
So, yeah, so he's gonna shoot and shoot, so I'm just gonna go ahead and roll twice. Okay, so the first shot has 1 success, second shot has 2 successes, and I would also like to invoke my judge's talent.
Okay, what does that do? Oh yeah, it's on your character sheet as well in the Excel file. It does an auto-critical on a successful attack. Once per session, I get a darkness point. But I'm gonna first. They're not necessarily successful attacks because he's got 2 points of armor. So let me roll his armor first. For his
okay.
attack. So his first attack doesn't cancel anything else. You get 1 success from that. So do you want to just use that straight away, as well as doing the 2 success?
Yeah, I'll use it on the first one that lands in case the other one gets absorbed.
Okay. So you spend your judge's talent for the session. I get a darkness point, and you basically get to roll a crit.
All right, I rolled a 53, which is bleeding gut, fatal in dice 6 minutes. Do you want me to roll the?
No, we'll leave that for a second.
Okay.
He's going to take 1 point of damage per turn until he's given first aid. And then your second one, I'll roll for his armor again. And he doesn't block any of it. So you do your base 2 damage. And what do you want to do with your second success? It's actually, you don't need to worry about that because that's enough to take him out.
Okay.
So Kalia is still directly above with the bot, and she manages to get on film Xanathar with his grape rifle, which is effectively a shotgun, pegging this guy from above.
Bang, bang.
And he crumples, bearing in mind that there's no gravity. The force from the blasts push him into the floor, and some blood comes away from his body and is floating in a slowly expanding cloud.
Oh, the microbes. Xanathar is fleeing from the spreading droplets.
Kalia's like, come back. We can package this for the network so easily. That's beautiful.
And something just to notice for all 3 of you as well. I'm assuming that none of you have been in personal combat in space. There was absolutely no sound with any of this as you're firing. It was a little bit surreal. And I'd like each of you to roll wits because you're out of your element, and this is a bit eerie as you're going through this dark ship.
I got 1 success.
Also 1 success, yeah.
Hardened killer.
I roll 4 for 1 success.
So all of you are not phased. Well, maybe just a little bit. It's 1 success is a limited success, but it's not enough to give you any stress damage. Do you want to float down and check his body for what he's got?
Yes.
And I think Xanathar is going to start moving on ahead towards the torpedo room.
Okay. What are you doing, Luna?
I'm telling Xanathar to wait because he'd never split the party.
I'm gonna root through the pockets of this ne'er-do-well.
Well, there aren't really pockets. He's in an exoshell, which is like a spacesuit.
Have I got a knife to make some pockets with?
He's got a Vulcan carbine.
I'll have that.
You also find that he has strapped to a holster on his leg. He has an axe, a Dura axe.
I saw it first, so it's mine.
And Xanathar was trying to stay away from the cloud of blood, so he's kind of moved up towards the forward part of the hull. And he'll
Okay.
draw up short when she says to wait. But he's pretty kind of far away from them in the blood cloud.
Okay. So what do you want to do next?
They checking the contents of the cargo?
Do you want to spend the time? It's gonna take you a little bit of time to open it.
Nah, I don't think it's worthwhile right now. Not until we get what we really need. And even then, this will probably take a little bit longer than what we want. So I suggest we just move on and get our torpedoes and see what else comes up in front of us.
Yeah. Okay. You all happy to do that?
Mm-hmm.
You communicate this over your comms. Luna, do you take point again?
Yes.
Okay. So as you take point, you turn towards the doors leading out of the cargo bay towards the front of the ship on this level. And we're going to leave it there for this week.
No one crosses the Xanathar.
Thanks for listening to Mud and Blood Plays Coriolis. Our players can be found on Twitter. Adam is playing Kalia and has the handle Adam Attley, Attley. Charlotte is playing Luna and has the handle Foxfire22. That's fire spelled Fyre. Nathan is playing Xanathar and has the handle Script and Verse. Our intro and outro music is the track Valraven by Danish musician Danheim. Ambient music is from the Emmy Award-winning Tabletop Audio. Join us next week for the next installment of Fear and Loathing in the Third Horizon.